I know now that I would not let that happen to me again, but at the time, I didn't really know that it was wrong, what he was doing.
In a few weeks, Robin Haidari will be a sophomore in high school. But the hardest lesson she ever learned happened when she was 12 and secretly dating a 17-year-old boy.
And he always wanted to know where I was, what I was doing, who I was with. He told me that I couldn't hang around any more of my guy friends. It was just, I had to spend all my time with him.
It began with emotional control, isolating Robin from her friends.
And then he started becoming more abusive, more that he would start like punching me in the face and pushing me down and really hurting me.
It was a similar story for this 18-year-old who asked not to be identified.
That's when I knew it wasn't love. It wasn't love at all.
At the time, she was 15, her boyfriend 16.
He wanted so much more from me than I wanted to give him, that I was ready to give him, that I was willing to give him, but he took it anyway.
Over the course of their year-long relationship, he raped her several times. Even after she broke up with him, the emotional abuse didn't stop.
Then he would call my house 20 times a day. Then he would follow me home. Then he would jump on my car when I was trying to leave school.
Domestic violence isn't something that happens just to adults. It starts with teenagers and at about the same rate, although record-keeping for both groups is flawed. It's believed that 10 to 30% of dating teens experience physical abuse, and many more endure emotional abuse or mental mind games.
Teenagers have very limited dating experience, so they will often confuse possessive, jealous, and controlling behavior as a sign of love.
Rhea Mallett heads New York City's Commission to Combat Family Violence. One of her goals is simply to increase awareness of the problem.
One of the teenage girls looked up and said, "Wow, I didn't even, I knew something was wrong, I knew something was happening, but I didn't know it was abuse."
The abuse happens at a critical point in teenage lives.
The most important thing to them is independence and exercising control over the decisions that they're making in their lives.
Caitlin Finnegan works with Empower, a group dedicated to ending gender-based violence. She says it's hard for teens to go for help, and if they do, their concerns are frequently brushed off.
They often find that when they want to get out of an abusive relationship, people aren't prepared to hear it and people aren't prepared to believe them.
Fewer than 4% of affected teens ever reach out for help. Neither of the young women we talked to reported their abuse. But when the most popular teen magazine in America ran a cover story on violent boyfriends, it prompted hundreds of letters like this one.
He pushes, slams me into walls, restrains me, grabs me by the hair.
An overnight survey on 17's website got 3,500 responses.
11% said that they had been physically abused by their boyfriends. 27 had been verbally abused.
Experts say society needs to wake up to the existence of teenage abuse and start listening to children. Teens need to learn that abuse is not all right, not normal, and most of all, that it's not their fault.
I knew it wasn't going to happen to me. I knew that it wasn't going to happen to anyone I knew. But it's going to happen in the movies. It's going to happen on TV. It's going to happen in soap operas. It's going to happen on after-school specials. But it's not going to happen to you. But it did.